Okay, so if you're listening to this, you either enjoyed the last podcast or you just have nothing to do with your life, or you're me. Welcome to the GrumpyNigbert Hour. Today, Robert decided we're going to talk about Judgment. Do you have any opening statement that you would wish to say?
Well, I would like to start by saying that the concept of judgment is a very broad topic, so for the most part, the concept of judgment will have to be defined first. Judgment is developing an opinion on something, and or at least that's how I interpret judgment. Judgment isn't always something necessarily negative, because I feel like there's so much negativity associated with that word.
Yes. I also want to state that we're actually playing the game you see on screen while we do this. And I'd even say that it was Black Ops footage last time, but we're playing zombies on Black Ops 1. Yes. Today's podcast is sponsored by Enron. Give them your money and you will live to see success.
Oh, oh my god. I'm sad. I judge you for that in a negative way.
Give me credit for looking up the most beautiful of companies.
Enron, dog.
The first topic is girls, so I'll let you start that off because we know you will have a lot to say.
Girls?
How they pass judgment, how you judge them, etc.
Well, girls are just extremely judgmental creatures in general. Technically, all humans are judgmental creatures by nature because it's in our primal DNA that which we still have to judge. We need to be able to assess something within seconds for survival purposes, or at least that's how it used to be until society was set up.
If you look at our DNA strands, it'll be the 16th strand. It's labeled judgment on there in English.
Yeah,
or in
it
Latin,
spells judgment out. Yeah, but in Latin it says "lick my butt."
I'm just gonna put that on screen spelled weird as hell with no spaces.
I have AIDS. But women, that's your kill, by the way. Women judge people for all sorts of things because women enjoy gossiping for the most part. Girls just like to talk. Girls like to hear their voice. Girls like to talk crap because that's just how they are, I guess. I mean, men also like to talk crap, like I'm talking crap right now, and that's also passing judgment. But women pass judgment for fun, like it's a hobby of theirs. And they judge people to make themselves feel better about themselves, like, oh, this girl's fat, that means I'm skinny. Like, they do these things to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, it's
in a room full of people.
You just do it because you don't feel good about yourself, even if you don't realize it. So you put it on somebody else.
It's subconscious.
I'm amazing.
Yeah. Wow, this girl's dress is really ugly. That means my dress looks way nice. Like, if this girl has an ugly dress, everyone's paying attention to my nice dress. Well, damn, if that's how you feel. And then, as for me, I'm just extremely sexist in general for the most part, so I judge girls in a very negative manner. I feel like I don't trust girls for the... Yeah, I have tons of reasons, but it's just like, for the most part, I just don't... I tend to not trust them, and I just feel like they're always talking crap and gossiping and lying behind people's backs and stuff, so...
Like Spanish people when they're in the room with you.
I have negative judgment. Exactly. If someone is speaking a different language than me, they're instantly talking crap about me. And that just goes to show more subconscious stuff. Like, clearly something is on you to be crap talked about. But anyways, that's pretty much how I feel.
A little late warning, but if anything we've said in the past 6 minutes has offended you, that this video isn't for you, so get the fuck out. I don't care if I hurt your feelings.
I don't know. It's I don't want to be too have so much hatred towards women, but it's all these all the women that I've ever encountered have only proven me right.
Well, it's the same thing
So
as like women saying like all guys are the same. Like both genders give each other reasons to just like not trust anybody.
exactly, for sure, men are just as bad in terms of being pieces of crap,
And if
but
you've ever
not in
been like
terms of
put in that
judgment.
situation, it feels like shit where they tell you like not because you're like cocky or anything, but you know like you're better than most people. So you like when you hear that shit, you feel so bad about it because like you know the truth
Yeah, I feel you. I know what
and you
you mean.
can't
It's like,
convince them otherwise, so you just can't do anything about it. It's a sad day.
all right, let's leave.
Which would you say gossip more, like older women or like girls in high school and whatnot?
Oh man, that's a good one. That is a good question because it's like, I mean, I think women just gossip in general because even older women who don't even have friends and stuff will still find a way to talk crap to someone.
Yeah.
Like my mom, for example, our neighbor, like she doesn't even like this lady, and she's always talking crap about her. Like, oh man, this lady's so annoying, blah 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 blah. But then you're still talking and like talking crap about other people with her. Like you're just gossiping the gossip. Like you just want to talk. So I honestly I don't know. I mean, who does it more? I would definitely say high school, but older women still find a way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they definitely have more of an urge to do it because they're not doing it as much as they used to be able to. Man, I kind of want to talk about male judgment now. That we're talking
Yeah,
about
go
female
ahead.
judgment, like female or well, males like I don't know. They're not really down. Well, I mean, no, they definitely judge all the time, and they have to. Once again, like the primal thing, like for men, judgment is way different. Like women will talk crap about like what you're wearing or how you walk or something like what I consider to be pointless, like just norms of
Yeah, they definitely
societal
like the
norms.
gossip between genders is definitely like ginormous because like for whatever reason they're definitely like depending on your gender like more shit will get pointed out.
Yeah, like for men, I feel like when we're gossiping, we're talking about like either sex or like violence, which is like the typical image for a man anyways, just like violence and sex. Because I mean that's all we care about is violence and sex. Like I mean, and within seconds of seeing a guy, like my first thoughts are always like one of my first thoughts is, man, can I fight this dude? Like would I win in a fight against this kid? Like it's just
If I got
that's just
into a fight,
natural.
could I win?
Yeah, pretty much. That just happened. But they just nonchalant kick me down the stairs. But yeah, I don't know.
My country thanks you.
That's pretty much all we care about, so that's all we talk about. We should leave, and then you should go find the box door and open it. But, yeah. So what next?
I was trying to think. I had something in my head to broaden on that topic as well, and then I forgot it, so I'm trying to remember it real quick. What was it?
Judgment.
Oh, also in terms of like the two genders, how do you feel about like when people call girls whores, but it's okay if like a dude sleeps around with like 50 chicks?
Man, double standard is
Yeah.
a huge issue. Like, that's some bullshit. Like,
There you go. That was.
that's
I
not
couldn't
even,
think of double standard for some reason.
like, girls, I mean, like, that's so messed up. How can a girl, like, be talking to a bunch of dudes and get judged for it, but a guy can't? Like, I mean, and nowadays guys are getting called out on that, and, like, girls are becoming smarter and not going for those guys, which is real good. Like, I don't wish that upon anyone. Like, that just sucks.
But it's
But,
still the fact that like it happens.
But yeah, exactly, it does happen, and that's not fair at all, honestly. Like there's no difference because we have a penis and they have a vagina. Like that's how I feel towards everything, honestly, for the most part. Like
Yeah.
there is no difference.
Like there's no justifying it. It's just what it is. So like.
Exactly, it is what it is. Like, and
That double standard has always hurt me. Like, we're not even a part of that like percentage. It's just the fact, like you said, it's just the fact that like people do
it
that.
just
shit.
happens.
I didn't grab that. But
Hey.
okay.
That's okay though. Man.
But it just hurts me
I
that
don't
like,
know.
people have double standards like that.
Or like that.
And then
in
when they get
general.
called out on it, it's the same thing where you call somebody out on a lie, and then they're just like, "What are you talking about?" Like, they try to deny that it happens. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything looks normal to me. Oh, yeah? Does it?
And I didn't even get to hit the box.
You should have said something. I would have let
I'm
you
so
hit it.
sad. Nah, I was just running around, like, jumping to these
It's
teleporters,
in the pig
expecting to
room.
leave this whole time. I wanted to get it for $10, but I don't know. Judgment. Man, Judgment in general, though. Just, like, who am I to judge someone, though? In Judgment, like, when people are asking to be judged, like, let's say you're in public, and then I feel like it's just natural to just people watch. Like, you're just looking at someone, and you're just like, man, this nigga's wearing some goofy shoes, or, man, this chick looks all tired, and, like, she's had a real hard day, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just natural to do that. Like, I mean, I feel like that goes back to that primal thing I said at the very beginning. Like, it's just in our nature to do that. And
I have a ray gun if you
I
can
feel
come get
like
me.
I'm trying. I just feel like, who are we to judge someone, though? Like,
Yeah, like, who am I to tell them?
I mean, like, who am I to say that their shoes are goofy? Like, if they like their shoes, they like their shoes. Like, who am I to say that?
Yeah, like,
and then it's just like,
kind of like religion.
even
Like, this is my thing, so, like, and I don't like that, so why the hell are you doing it?
and then, oh man, but then that goes to people pushing it onto people as
Yeah.
well, though. Like, I mean, it's different, and that, like, I feel like that's what I'm trying to get at. Is it's different if someone is like bragging, like, oh man, my shoes are so nice, like, oh man, these are some kick-ass shoes, blah blah blah, my shoes are better than everyone else's. Well then, if you're a person on the side that they're bragging to you about their shoes, you should just be like, I mean, of course you're gonna be like, man, those shoes aren't even that cool. Like, that's okay for you to pass judgment then, because that person has opened it up to you. Like,
Yeah, like,
they're
don't throw it out there if you
like,
don't want an opinion thrown back.
Exactly. And it's just like,
Because, I mean,
but
you
then
could
for
argue,
the most
like,
part,
mind your own business, but you kind of just, like, yelled it out loud for the whole world to hear.
you're putting it out there.
I mean, like, if you're talking to a group of friends and, like,
Let me
you're
know
in
when you
your
get
own
in, because I'm up
area-
here.
Do what?
Let me know when you get in. I'll call it up.
Oh, okay. Like, it's one thing if you're talking to a group of friends and you're not, like, talking loud or anything, you're just gonna chilling and doing whatever. But, I mean, like, if you're talking loud as hell and then, like, bragging
Like,
and trying to
or
get
even
about the shit,
just
I'm
in general, like, okay.
It's just, like, calm down.
Yeah.
And
like, now I'm gonna talk shit on
every
you.
single person is judgmental, and yet, like, they have to go off on you when you do it. Like,
Right?
like you said, like, who are you to do that?
Yeah, like, I didn't ask for your opinion. Like, I'm just enjoying my day. Because, I mean, that's just people with advice in general, for the most part. Like, oh, nigga, you should not be doing this. Like, I didn't say anything about me doing this. Like, I'm not complaining about me doing this. Like, I didn't say me doing this is a bad thing. I didn't say it was a good thing.
I just said I was
Like-
doing it. Like, come on.
I mean, I feel like I want to be more specific. Like, oh, I smoke weed. Like, smoking, like, I'm not bragging about it. I just said I smoke weed. Well, oh, you don't need to be smoking weed. Blah, like,
Yeah.
or smoking weed's cool, or I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, that's not even really a good example. That's just the first thing that came to mind because I'm always
It's
thinking
just,
about
it's also one of
injecting
those
marijuana.
things where, like, people try to give you their opinion when they don't, like,
When
the
you're not
news,
asking
like-
for it.
Well, no, I was trying to say, like, when people try to give you, like, advice and stuff when they don't even know, like, what the situation is. Kind of like when
Oh,
people
that
lose their
too.
minds over stuff in the news when they haven't even researched what's going on. Perfect example, Ebola. Like, I'm pretty sure almost,
Yeah.
like, 80% of the people, and that's being generous in numbers, like, don't even know how it's spread and how long, like,
Oh, not at
symptoms
all.
take to even
It's just,
come in.
oh, there's a virus? Well, damn.
Yeah, like, you just know immediately the minute you get it, right?
Like yesterday.
Like, over and under assessing situations
Yeah.
has to go with judgment. It's all perception, essentially. Like,
Like, a lot of people don't even realize it takes, like, 2 to 3 weeks for the symptoms to even start up. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to know
develop?
I have Ebola when it hasn't even showed symptoms yet, right? Like, I could have gotten it a week and a half ago, come home, still be perfectly healthy, more or less, while it's in incubation period. I'm spreading it everywhere, and it's just like, I wouldn't even have known.
This is how one stimulates.
oh, I just ruined a bunch of people's lives.
Yeah. Did I do that?
Being ein Berliner.
And then people would go and judge that person and be like,
Like, how dare you?
damn. Right? Like, wow, you're so selfish. Like,
Like, excuse me.
I feel like
So okay, fucking assholes back
no,
again.
you.
I was talking about Pentagon Thief. I'll let him take this spaz. It's empty. But
It's coming for me.
those first 16 minutes have been more or less gender related. I guess we can move on to the. Oh, hi.
You didn't even shoot him while he was coming after me.
My gun was empty. I apologize.
Your ray gun?
I didn't think about it. I just went potato because I was trying to think of the next topic. So it wasn't until he grabbed me, I was like, why didn't I shoot him? He's gonna take my ray gun. Okay, he didn't. Okay, so that was gender judgment. Do we want to move to religion or another topic before that? Because that
Well, I
wasn't
mean,
on the list,
honestly,
but it's
religion
definitely
just
something
has
we
to
can
go with
hit.
what I'm saying essentially right now. Like, they're just judging people, like, they're pushing their opinions on the people for,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you're not killing this nigga right now? What are you doing?
I don't know where he is.
You haven't even been looking for him.
Oh, yeah?
Thank you.
Stop judging me.
I am judging you. I felt like your actions were inappropriate, and that and
w-
it affects me.
Like I
it
said,
affects me.
I was getting distracted. I really was. I was trying to...
Distractions. These damn distractions, dog. But
Fucking
okay,
Illuminati.
well, I don't know. Religion though is just like religion is just pushing their opinions on the people, and like they're judging people based off of their standards. But like, who said I want to live off of your standards?
Yeah.
And that, oh man, see, that goes with another thing though. Like, sometimes I get sad and I'll be like, man, like, it was actually mostly just the other day in Walmart. I was walking through Walmart and I was like, man, all these people are just walking corpses. Like, they don't even live lives anymore. Like, they just go day-to-day routines. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
that life must really suck. But then I stopped and I realized, I was like, and that, honestly, this is what made me say the topic of judgment. Like, well, who am I to say that their life is sad? Maybe I don't know their life. Maybe they enjoy their lives. Like, I would
Hell,
just
they
know
might
if
go
that was
home
me,
and kill
I would be
somebody.
sad.
Who knows what's going on?
Like,
Could be
I don't
like-
exactly. I don't know what they're
Could be
doing.
like Mr. and
maybe
Mrs.
they're
Smith, like they live a normal life and then they go on fucking like hitman missions.
right.
But you
I don't know
even
what these
who be
niggas are
living next
doing.
door.
Oh no, dude, my neighbor's definitely a serial killer, but that's besides the point.
Don't judge people.
This nigga has shutter
It's
shades
true.
that he has down during the daytime and shit. Like, nigga, what are you doing? Always digging holes in your backyard and shit,
What the
nigga.
fuck?
Never. Only has one person ever come to his house ever,
They never leave.
and man, this nigga's weird. But anyways, like,
That's some-
it's just like judgment, man. Who am I? Like, where do I get off telling you how to do you? I
Yeah.
don't.
It's
'Cause
definitely
I'm
way
just
better,
another
like,
human
leaving
having-
some of that stuff like to yourself though. Like most people would just be assholes and be like, "What the fuck do you do?" Excuse me.
That's very true. Oh man, but judgment. I remember. This was also the same day that I went to Walmart. I was like, I don't judge. I said that to someone, and I was like, and then my friend was like, you do judge, even positive, even developing an opinion is judgment because
Yeah.
even a good opinion is judgment. Like, and then once again, but it's like, who am I to even judge? Period. Like, even I could give someone a compliment, but it's like, why does my compliment even matter to you?
Yeah.
Why does my opinion matter? I feel like people's opinion shouldn't matter. I mean, I want to say judgment is unnecessary, but I mean that's only in some cases because you have to judge. You have to judge on a daily basis. Do I want to go upstairs and get cereal, or do I want to go upstairs and get a burger? Like that's not a very important judgment call.
But it's still a
well,
judgment.
I don't know. It is to some people. Yeah, it's still a choice. It's a choice that has to be made. Like, and judges. Judges are crazy, dude.
Be giving them guilty
They have so much
verdicts.
power.
Free my
They send
nigga
people
Icarus.
to jail. Damn straight. Free my nigga. But,
He too cute to go to
I don't
jail.
know.
Shut the hell up.
Then you got people with preconceived ideas. Like, this is like the concept of stereotypes and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you're like,
Well, we can go
If
ahead and
someone-
move on to stereotypes. I was actually next on the list. I'm gonna try and keep it in order
Yeah.
so I don't have to put like random times, because the last thing was in
Honestly,
order.
I'm pretty much just like ranting
Yeah.
for the most part. Like,
Like I said, you're good.
it's just like, man, like you have these ideas that are spread, but you don't even know if they're correct or not. So your natural instinct is to judge based off of what you know. And it's like, it's not that you're wrong that for judging off of what you assume to be correct, but it's like you're wrong because you didn't go to find out if it was correct before you started using it. Well, it's like stereotypes are just like this concept of like, well, I mean, it's a concept of hatred, like you're hating on someone and this is what you want the general image of them to be, but it's like, man, people don't even go to like check up on it or anything. Like they just instantly believe it or just start spreading it, and it's just really cancerous. Like, why?
Well, and this is a stereotype more or less, but I was watching this video, and this guy mentioned, he was a big YouTuber, he mentioned he was left-handed, and then someone was like, hey, did you know that like 90% of left-handed people end up having mental problems? And it's just like, first off, did you check the statistic, or like did you just hear it and say, well, that's fact? And then second off, like, someone replied, and it was a very interesting thing he said that like got me thinking. He said a lot of these statistics are either made up or like have no like rational explanation behind them. He's like, that'd be like saying we discover a race of blue people but there's only 2 of them, and say like one of them is crazy. So he'd be like, they would say 50% of blue people are psychotic. And like,
dude, that's so true. That's just a way to control the people. Like, they just make up these statistics and these general ideas that because they know that people, with this judgment being passed on people, it's just like, judgment is so acceptable in today's society. It's like, when we're taught judgment and whatnot, we don't even question it. It just becomes fact right away.
Yeah.
With no research or anything. Like
if it comes
I mean,
out of your
honestly,
mouth,
that goes back
real.
to what you were saying earlier. Just like, oh, Ebola's bad. Oh, that means I could get Ebola, and that means I could be bad and spread Ebola and be bad. Ebola's bad. Like, it's like you're brainwashing these people.
I think what's funny about Ebola is it's one of those things where like every time there's a new like strain of infection that gets spread around, people automatically assume it's like a new disease and don't realize like it's just a different strain of the same thing that's been around since forever. It's just another one of those things. Like I said, like whatever people say is just immediately truth. So like you never have a reason to look up or believe anything else. So like right now I could tell you like every Christmas on the dot of 11:59 p.m. Cthulhu comes out and eats at least 2,000 children, and you just be like, "Oh, okay."
No, it was on the news.
Yeah, that's all you have to say too. Is someone be like, "You sure? It was on the news." Oh, okay.
Wow, that's just crazy talk. No, I was on the news. Oh shit.
Let's go ahead and get into that real quick. The news, fucking both like on TV and just articles on the internet in general now. And how like misinformed people are because they don't realize like how much information's left out.
They don't judge it correctly. They take it and judge with it without judging it. They don't judge the information that they've received. They use the information they received to judge. Those are 2 extremely different concepts.
Well, the perfect example would be the fucking George Zimmerman case. Like, remember how it was just one of those things where they got an early picture of the kid, so they were like, look how innocent he was, like, feel bad for him. And then if you actually do your research, that's an old-ass picture, and he was actually, like, gang-affiliated by the time he got killed. Like, he wasn't no angel, not saying, like, he deserved to die or anything. Like, clearly,
Yeah.
like, it was everybody's fault that even happened, but, like, it was everybody's fault. No one's in the right, but that doesn't mean, like, you should just hold the truth from people either, because you're just making like the masses believe, oh, he was a sweet kid and we should do
no,
shit
I mean,
about this now.
but then honestly, the way that I would argue against that in a sense because like honestly, there should be no relevance in any of it.
Oh,
it should
right.
only be
It
judged off of the situation.
Way. It's just the fact that it happened, but it's just the fact that like you're still convincing
like
people
try.
You're trying to make them
Exactly.
more angry against somebody. Like I said,
Yep.
nobody was right in that.
Like they're
like,
trying to influence
nobody,
it with negative judgment.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to make these people see it as a negative situation. I mean, it was, but they're making people look past the important
They were
information.
making them focus on
the
stuff
information
that wasn't even actually like real.
that wasn't relevant at all.
Real or relevant. Because like I said, like you said, it doesn't even matter. But it's the fact that like they were trying to make people hate this guy as much as possible, so he could get like the worst penalty. Like, there's no reason.
Nah, but that's some bull that he got off scot-free.
Oh yeah,
like,
most definitely. He definitely should have been punished for that shit.
And then Casey
Irregardless
Anthony,
of what happened, like it was, you had no reason to be following this kid. Like, okay, so what if he was doing something illegal, or doing something bad, or whatever?
judging him
he
for
would've
no
done,
reason because he
it's
was
not your
black
fucking
walking around
yeah.
at night.
Like, it's not your job to be following him. Like, half the community even said, like, even though he's a part of the community watch, it wasn't his job to follow him. The cops even said, hey, like, calm the fuck down. We'll look for him, but don't follow him.
And then the
like,
cops, man. And
yeah,
then,
cops.
like, I could just branch off into cops because, like, cops are just like,
Well,
I mean,
more
it's
of
their
these
job
cases
to
been popping
judge.
up lately.
They have to judge. Like, that's their job. They're the judges before the judge. Like, they have to decide if what someone is doing is illegal. That requires, like, inappropriate snooping at times, which I'm aware of. Like, I mean, and that, honestly, that's just such a sucky job. Because then you get into situations where there are people that might be sketch, and then it's like, well, they're a human being, too. Of course they're going to be afraid. Like,
yeah.
Like, if I'm in a sketch situation and I have the means to protect myself, whether that be pepper spray, a taser, my fist, a baton, or a gun, damn straight I'm gonna use it. Like, if I think this nigga's about to run up on me, I'm gonna shoot his ass. I don't care.
It's
like,
one of those things where we
and-
look at them and they're like, oh, they're not human because they got a higher job. Like, they have to do so much,
But-
so they're
but
like
these
all
people,
high and mighty, and they
they
don't make
abuse
mistakes.
their power though, and they make, and yeah, they do. They make mistakes, but it's like at this
more
point
judgment.
they're
We
abusing their power.
People more or less expect cops to be like perfect, like they should know all the rules and everything and what not to do and what to do, right? But at the same time, like the minute one person does something wrong, you judge all of them together, saying, "Gosh, they're all stupid. They don't know what they're doing." Fucking
Yeah,
just take all their
generalization.
badges. Yeah, generalization. Like, and again, like a lot of people don't even know what they're talking about. They just get riled up because someone tells them to. The news is like, hey, you should get angry about this, and then you're like, okay, I am. It's just like, well, you
Damn.
weren't like 5
That
seconds ago.
hurts my feelings so bad because of just how much of sheep our society is. But then once again, who am I to say that our
Yeah.
society is sheep when there more be people like me that exist? But it's like, as far as I can judge and as far as what I've seen,
with
what
our
I am.
perception of the
Yes,
the
as far as my
situations.
perspective goes, people are sheep. I mean, why is that relevant? Because the people will never rise up. Like, why does my opinion on people being sheep matter? Well, because I don't want people to be sheep. Why don't I want people to be sheep? Because I don't want people to live as shadow. I don't want people to be under someone's ruling. I don't want these people to be trapped. And maybe these people are so blinded by this shit that they enjoy it. Like, who am I to take away their joy and their funds? But it's like, they're affecting me at this point, because their stupidity reflects on me, and it reflects
Yeah.
on my society, it reflects on my race, it reflects on my ethnicity at times, it reflects on my very being. Like,
Once it starts
Man.
affecting me, like I have to be concerned about it.
that's when I have to judge, and I have to judge today's society, saying that we are sheep, because they are sheep. They're influenced by this media to such a fine key that it's ridiculous.
I just hate how much it affects.
I'm
all of
influenced
us
by
that
media.
point.
Yep, exactly. All of us, exactly. It's like it gets so far along to the point to where I can judge. Like I've said so many times during this, who the fuck am I? Like, why am I relevant? Essentially, I'm not. But when things start to affect me to where I become relevant, that's when you know there's a problem.
What it makes me
Because if
think
just
of
some like
is,
random black kid
Yeah.
is relevant, then like something's wrong.
what it makes me think of is if you've ever been to school, which I'm pretty sure at least half the people listening should be. I don't know why you wouldn't. That's also me judging though, so don't listen to me. But if you've ever been in a class that gets riled up easily and like annoys the hell out of the teacher, you know there's always that one kid who acts up, and the next thing you know, the whole class has like extra work or like homework or something.
You should open that
You
door.
get way more than you should when you didn't do anything. Then it's the same situation. Like, why do I have to suffer because one idiot made a mistake?
Like, yeah, this nigga's just being stupid and you're over here giving me troubles. Like, of course I'm going to call this nigga an idiot because he's acting fucking stupid. Damn, I need to get you out this insta-kill zone or I'm not going to get you.
Yeah. But it's just like there's no reason for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, run forward. Oh, damn it. You fucking ran backwards and almost got me killed.
Yeah, I don't know why I ran backwards. I fucking turned into SpongeBob. Backing up.
I have AIDS. You're laughing at my disease, and that hurts me even more.
Stop judging me.
I'm judging you because your laughter affected my emotion.
So I
I
laugh
don't know.
more.
Oh man, Adrian just got on. He'll get on and he'll judge up some mean.
And we'll get some more buzzing
meanness.
going.
Man, come get the zombie from me real fast.
Get
I
him
don't
or
know,
kill
dude.
him.
Judge. Come get him away from me while I invite Adrian. I don't know why I feel like I just said that so awkwardly.
It sounded awkward.
Self-judgment. Who are we to even judge ourselves? Like,
Be me and don't worry about it.
right? Like,
And it's
man,
one of those things
I mean,
where, like,
well,
you
I
can
guess
say
it goes
it,
to
but it's really
internal
hard
feelings.
to do it.
Oh, exactly, dude. It's extremely hard. Like, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier, but then, like, we got sidetracked on something. And I was just like, there are times where I feel like I know what I'm going to do in my life. Like, okay, I guess I'll go to college for a bit, and I'm going to go be a firefighter and just, like, do whatever. But it's like, even though I quote-unquote know what I'm doing, it's still, I just still feel lost because it's, like, not necessarily what I want to do.
Yeah. It's always fun how society makes you feel like you have to do certain things to, like, have a life, more or less. Like, I should do a job because I want to, not because I have to. Not saying you should just get everything handed to you, but I mean, like, I feel butthurt whenever we have to do shit to get what we want.
Right? That makes me so sad.
That was a bad way to
like,
say it, but, like, I feel like you
No,
know,
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's just like,
I shouldn't be
man.
forced to do all sorts of, like, things I don't want to do because I don't enjoy it. I'm not saying things don't take hard work. I'm just saying, like, there are certain things I shouldn't be forced into.
Yeah, like,
But at the
okay,
same time,
I'm going to have to go to school and get a job and get debt, like,
yeah.
and
Like,
then,
I don't want to,
like, just
be
to get
in
the
debt
things
just
that I
because
want.
I wanted to have a certain job, but at the same time,
Right?
it requires all that work at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I understand and accept the fact that, like, work is required to do things.
That's
But
exactly.
I wish
Because
it was, like,
if
a
it wasn't,
different
then
way.
you just have lazy people that just, like, that mooch off everything. Like, if everything
Yeah.
was free, like, kind of like
Yeah, maybe if
communism
the
in a
system
sense.
was, like, better equipped to deal with people who don't actually take it serious, that would be better too. Because, I mean, college isn't
But it's
like
like-
that, but, like, high school, you're struggling in a class, and then you'll be seeing these people do nothing, and then they pass, but you're still expected to, like, have a higher standard.
Oh, so QQ.
Like, they
Yep.
can be getting a D, and they'll pass the class no problem, but, like, you'll be stressing to get a B and just have a good grade. Like, I get
But,
more
I
of the
mean,
stress
and
for
then
trying
again-
to do better, and they're sitting there, like, getting a free pass.
Half-assing? Yeah. But it's like, then again, that's from our perspective, because
Yeah.
for all we know, there are people that are trying to fix these things, and it's just like, it's just a very difficult, because you get so far along in the system that, like, people are just so selfish and whatnot. Like, I mean, and then again, that's just more judgment. Like, I'm calling someone selfish, but if I was in that position, who's to say that I wouldn't want to keep, like, why wouldn't I want to set it up so I get the most benefits?
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, I most likely would. That's just how I am. Like, I mean, that's just how people are in general. Like, I mean,
What
that's honest. That's
benefits
how.
me?
Robert,
Well, I'm thinking.
what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
I want to join your party.
You are in my party. You mean my game? I'm in the middle of a zombies match, so you can't join that. And I'm on a map that Adrian does not have, but
Cool, man.
We can move on to the next topic. What did you think of Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
you're ugly. Such a good movie. I love Terminator. Honestly, Terminator 2 is probably my favorite. Like, I can watch that movie almost whenever. Like, whenever I see that movie come on so often, like, or I'll just see, like, I don't know, I always see clips and stuff from it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, now I need to watch that movie. That's a very good movie.
I
But,
do like the
I
other
mean, why
two,
does
but
my
I really
movie
wish
opinion
the
matter?
franchise had ended there. It's one of those movies where,
Man.
like, it could have had a sequel, but I don't really want it because the last thing ended on a good note.
Dude, I would honestly be really excited if they were to reboot it. But it's like, if they reboot it, it would be awkward because no Schwarzenegger, and
Yeah.
it's like no one could live up to him while he's alive. And then I feel like even when he's dead, it would just be too soon, kinda. So
Yeah.
I feel like during my lifetime, no Terminator remake will exist. But that is something that I would like to see.
That would be definitely interesting. If they ever did a reboot of that, it'd have to be something that, like, stays close to, like, the roots of the actual movie, not one of those remakes
Oh,
that
for sure.
just, like, fucking butchers the whole thing. We did cover some of it, but the next thing would be, racism and sexism. Which one you want to hit first?
Wait, what?
So the next thing, like I said, we covered. Since this is such a broad topic, we'll more or less be hitting it with each thing. More or less, we're saying the same thing. But the next thing would be racism and sexism. Which one you want to hit
Well, I thought
first?
we already did racism. So.
We did stereotypes.
Oh, well, racism is the same thing as stereotypes for the most part. Like, I'm getting judged right away because of my skin tone, because this is the notion, like, this is what people preconceive of me. They see my skin tone and they think, like, just ignorance. They think ignorance when they see a black person for the most part. Like, oh, this guy's literally a pure ball of nigger. Like, he wants to steal my money and rape my woman. Like, he wants to steal all my shit. He wants to shoot me. He's probably under the influence of drugs right now. Like, they're judging me right away. I mean, it's whatever. And then as for sex, like, I mean, girls are judged instantly. Like, oh, does she have big boobs? Does she have a big butt? Blah, blah, blah. Is her face nice? Like, they're just literally images of sex, and it sucks. Like, that's such a sad concept that they're viewed that way, that they're
on top
judged
of
that way.
Depending on how they dress and everything else, like, oh, she's a slut. Like, you don't know anything. Like, okay.
Just these classings of just judgment. Just like, I mean, honestly, for the most part, though, we've been talking about judgment, like, without developed thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
just judgment in general rather than, like, educated guesses and whatnot.
Because educated guesses can be one thing, but you definitely do need, like, a lot to work on and not just, like, first glance.
Yeah. Like, you can look at this girl in the hallway.
First impressions
like,
are, like...
First impressions. Very big on judgment.
Because, like, you see what's in front of you, and then you just, like, automatically think, oh, that's what they are. Like, you don't know if someone had a bad day, what's going on. There's all sorts of different factors. Like, you are never seeing what's really in front of you first.
Yeah, you'll never know. Yeah, that's very true.
Unless you're looking at
You
your
could kill
neighbor
him now,
who's
by
a
the way.
serial killer.
Now you are sorry.
Dang it, dude! I want to be hanging out with you guys right now.
Yeah. There's one more thing I have written down, and then we can just free roam from there. How do you feel about the way Judge Dredd passes judgment?
Well, this is just like in terms of effectiveness of the law and in terms of what is going on in his society, like the future that he lives in.
Yeah, the
So,
dystopia.
in terms of
Judge Dredd.
like the effectiveness is on point. Like that's honestly like that's the only way things would be able to get done in the point in time in which he lives. Like so,
RoboCop of Detroit.
Points? I'm trying to stay alive.
That Nova gas thing?
I don't know. Judge Dredd's way harder than RoboCop.
No, I meant
I
the
feel like-
area, not him.
Well, yeah, but it's just like nah.
Except Judge
Judge
Dredd
Dredd
cleaned
lives
it up
in like
faster.
he lives in the harder hood.
He lives in downtown Detroit. RoboCop
Yeah.
is in the suburbs. Okay, so I guess that was the second episode of the Podcast. Make sure to give Enron your money so that they can enforce their global saturation. And
Stay off my boat.
Robert, what's your
And
final?
like always, do plenty of drugs, kids. Much recommended.
What's your final statement, Robert?
Honestly, I'd have to agree with what Adrian said. Drugs.